pet lovers coming up here shortly. Also, Goodwill Industries of Kentucky, Dennis Ritchie is here, and he has good news as well. You know, they are open for business. And Tupper, Butler Law. I have found that people who have a personal passion that inspires them to start a business do very, very well because they care. And such is the case with Michelle Butler, who joins us now. She is an attorney, and she is the founder of Tupper, Butler Law. Michelle, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me today.
Before we tell your personal story, which I think is fantastic and really kind of ties everything together, tell us a little bit about your law firm and your specialty.
Well, I launched my law firm to help families protect themselves in the event of a medical crisis or for the simple prospect of aging and other ways to relieve their anxiety as life continues with unknowns. Yeah,
Michelle, when I opened up here, I talked about the fact that you have a personal story that led you to your law firm that I think really made you passionate about what you do. And I think it's important. So tell me a little bit about your story with your father.
Well, I had practiced large-scale litigation at big law firms in Washington, D.C., and now back home in Louisville, when my beloved father, only parent, had just retired and tripped in his home alone one evening, landed in such a way that he became a quadriplegic. I had no idea what to do, even though I'm the one with the law degree and experience. So we had to process our own grief at the trauma of his injury while learning how to navigate how to care for someone both legally and medically in this condition.
Yeah, there's so many moving parts here, Michelle, when you have something that happens to yourself, like what happened to your family. There's financial planning, there's estate planning, and a lot of it is really pre-planning because it's all about peace of mind and knowing you did the right thing. Tell me a little bit about that, and how complicated was it for you with your father?
Well, initially when my father fell, we did not know what he would want. I was very lucky that my brother and I were on the same page in how to navigate his care, both in the ICU and through weeks of physical therapy. Over the course of the next 3 years, we had many discussions, learned ways that would protect his assets, but it still would enable him to have the kind of care that he needed. And I discovered that there were many families like mine who had no idea what to do or how to protect themselves in the event of a crisis, or even with their parents aging and worrying about them and wanting to make sure that they were okay. When my father unfortunately passed away just this past February, even though that was the hardest day of my life, it was very different in that I know we did exactly what he wanted, and we didn't have any concern or guilt or fear that we were making wrong decisions.
You know, and that's nice to know. I can tell, Michelle, when you were looking at those pictures that you still feel that love for your father. You always will. So your empathy was earned. Let's talk a little bit about the process, because you like a pre-plan and you like to take people through the process because, as I mentioned, there's a lot of moving parts. Talk a little bit about that.
Yes, there are. I work with people who are facing a medical crisis, as my family did, and also families who are new, perhaps with small children, or families who simply want to make sure that their parents are cared for as they age and anticipate any potential injuries that may require extended long-term care. I help people understand that there's no need to lose all that they've worked for. There are ways to protect assets, and there are ways to live an actual full life with the people that you love. I like to say that much of what I do is relieve anxiety. People, especially in this era of COVID-19, have a huge amount of fear about what might happen to them or their parents or their children, and talking about these kinds of things is very difficult to do. I work with people to get through their own personal priorities, help them develop a personalized plan that pertains specifically to their goals, and have it in place so that that anxiety is no longer a burden on them or their loved ones.
Michelle, you made a good point there. Because of COVID-19, I think there has been an added emphasis, or at least some awareness about what if something happens to mom or dad, because now we've seen the reality happen all over the country. And believe it or not, this is a good thing, because you want peace of mind. You want to know, as you know now, that you can do the right things. Are you ever amazed at the fact that people will go to great lengths to protect their home? They'll go to great lengths to protect their pets or whatever, and sometimes they forget about their loved ones. I'm curious here, Michelle, is that because it's something that they want to put off and procrastinate because they love them so much they hope it never happens?
Well, in my own experience, we had never discussed any sort of end of life or crisis care for my father, and I loved my dad fiercely.
Sure.
So I think that you touch on a number of things that could apply. And people do not like talking about these difficult things. One of the goals that I have is helping people understand that by talking these things through and having a plan in place, it's actually beneficial to your family. It's much more difficult to have nothing and then have the people that you most wanted to protect thrust into a position of making life or death decisions without any guidance. And that in itself is very traumatic at a time when they may be grieving or otherwise trying to cope with the potential loss.
So a lot of it is about peace of mind. It's about protecting assets. So let's talk about a one-on-one consultation. Is that what you normally do? Do people go to your website to get more information? That one-on-one consultation, I think it would really, to me, be such an asset to have someone who's gone through this, someone like yourself, Michelle.
Well, I offer both professional expertise and guidance as well as personal experience. I work with families wherever they are. As a working mom myself, with my father in the hospital, I know how difficult it is to schedule appointments during regular business hours. I also know many people do not have time to sit through long workshops or classes. So I work with people as immediately as I can with whatever schedule that works best for them, and I meet them wherever they are so that that particular stress is not one that they need to worry about.
So the time is now. Pre-planning is key. For that one-on-one consultation, if they'd like to meet with you, Michelle, and I think there's going to be a lot of folks watching who would say, you know, I would like her because she's got the compassion and the empathy. She's been through this. What should they bring with them to the meeting? What kind of information should they have?
For a first meeting, I'm there to guide you. There's no need to bring anything other than your desire to help your family avoid the kind of crisis that we did experience. And I can then equip you with tools to make some of these difficult decisions to plan in advance that fit your family. Some folks try to use forms that were created for the most generic population and apply to the most people, but those kinds of plans, unfortunately, do not get to what might be priorities for your particular family. I work to help guide through some questions, and then we work from there on what kind of materials to put together.
Michelle, I couldn't help but notice, you know, okay, so Tupper, Butler Law, obviously Michelle Butler, but the Tupper side of it, is that a tribute to your father?
It is. My dad, Dr. E. Frank Tupper, he was a prominent theologian and a beloved man by his students and other friends throughout the world. I spent a long time hanging on to that Tupper in my name because I'm a Tupper as much as I am a Butler. And so the Tupper and Tupper Butler Law is definitely a tribute to him.
I'm sure he is very proud of you. She's practiced law at a very high level. She has the passion, she has the knowledge. You should make a call today because, again, Michelle, I hate to keep reiterating this and repeating, but really it's all about pre-planning and peace of mind, is it not?
It is, and the sooner that you put a plan together, the faster you relieve that anxiety for your family and are prepared for the unknown.